Assalamu alaikum. Ultrascan diagnostics here. This is the CBCT of the patient that you had requested. The area of interest has been highlighted as the upper right 6, the upper left 5, the lower left 6 and 7, and 8 which needs to be extracted. On the 3D rendering, you can very clearly see that the upper left 6 is supra-erupted. So this will need to be clinically evaluated for interocclusal space for prosthetic crown placement after implant. But we will place iris pollution implants, which is supplied by Docs Clinicals, and we will help you guide through the entire process. Now, this is the panoramic view. On the panoramic view, we can again clearly see we've got a PTR which needs to be extracted. We can also see a periapical radiolucency under the upper left fold. Now, taking you through each and every section, we'll take you through each section so that you can see very clearly. This is the upper left 5. You can see that there is no periapical radiolucency as such, but there is a BTR present. We've got D3 level of bone, and if we can measure the ridge width for you, so we've got approximately 9 millimeters of ridge width with a good 16 millimeters of ridge height. So a immediate implant placement is also possible if the doctor can engage the apical segment while implant drilling. Moving to the lower left 6 region, we've got a slightly thin ridge, but we can also, if the implant is sunken slightly deeper, we've got 7 millimeters of ridge width with a good 13 millimeters of ridge height to the inferior alveolar nerve in the region of the 6. When we move to the region of the 7, we've got a more thinner crest of the ridge, but a good thick ridge and D2 quality of bone. Just below the crest, we've got 8 millimeters of ridge width with approximately 11 millimeters of ridge height. Moving to the upper left segment, the upper left segment is also an edentulous space. Here also we've got very good ridge. We've got a 6.5 millimeters of ridge width with a approximately 11 millimeters of ridge height. So a shorter implant here can also be placed without doing sinus lift technique. The only thing to be of slight concern in the upper right region is that the upper right 7 will need an enameloplasty for a prosthetic crown placement, and that enameloplasty can be done with endodontic treatment and also without endodontic treatment, depending on how much space there is present after the implant has been placed. Now we've placed in implants for the doctor so that they can see each and every segment. So this is the implant placement. There we go. So these are all the implants we've placed in the iris pollution implants. These are prosthetically driven implant placements. That means that the crown portion has been factored in on these implants. So here we can see that enameloplasty of the 7 will definitely be needed, or endodontic treatment and a crown later on will be needed in order to support a crown on the 6 when the implants are placed. Now each and every implant, we're going to take you through each and every segment on the cross-sectional view or the transaxial view. So this is the lower right 7, the lower left 7, sorry. The lower left 7, you can see this is a 4.110 mm implant, and here I'm going to zoom in for our kind doctor. There we go. So after zooming in, you can see the implant is placed quite center of the ridge. Slightly move it to the center of the ridge right here. When we move to the region of the 6, this is again placed right center of the ridge, but we can move it slightly deeper for better cortical support on either side. The bone quality here also is D2. When we move to the upper left where the BDR is, here you will be able to see that the implant is placed at an angle because of the maxilla, but it can also support the crown structure later on quite beautifully. And once the BDR is removed, an immediate implant can definitely be placed. Moving to the upper right segment where the 6 is present, here you can see the upper right 6 is present. This again implant can be placed slightly more center of the ridge right here. And again, you can see that this is well supported by bone. We still have, this is a 4.110 mm implant as well. We'll share an implant planning report so that the doctor can see. On the 3D rendering, you can see this is the implant on the top right and the implant on the top left and the bottom left. So I will share the implant planning report so that the doctor can see, but just to give you an idea, so this is how the implants will look in the lower left segment. And this is how the implant will look in the upper maxillary segment. Again, very little interocclusal space. Just to give you an idea, we've got only 5.4. So again, enameloplasty of the 7 and enameloplasty of the 5 will be needed in order for proper crown placement post implant. If there are any further questions, please feel free to reach to our team. Thank you very much.